going on?
It's only Larry.
Welcome to Geeking Poetic Podcast, Part 2 of the Halloween episode. Yeah, this was a long one, guys.
Sure was.
Vito talked a lot.
Vito, no, it was all
Come
me.
on, don't be kidding us.
We know it's
Everybody
me.
knows it's a lie.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, hopefully you checked out Part 1. If you didn't, make sure you check it out in the link below. And in this episode, we got a lot yet we're gonna talk about, a lot of debating, a lot of spooky movies yet to discuss. So sit back, get a drink, and enjoy. Here we go, Part 2. All right, man. Moving on to number 3. This many. Moving on to number 3. So, Vito, let's go with your number 3, man.
So my number 3 was VHS from 2012.
Yeah.
This movie might have started my obsession with recent found footage films.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I had heard about this movie for a while, and I was like, well, that kind of sounds like a dumb idea. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. But then I watched it, and I was like, holy fucking shit! This is one of the most incredible horror films I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was so like borderline realistic because it's a found footage. Basically, you're finding footage of what happened to these people, and it's been re-edited and tells a narrative about it. And there's certain it's an anthology film, so there's about 5 different shorts, are about 15-ish minutes long.
Right, that's what I was going to ask. I've seen bits and pieces of. I've never actually seen all of VHS or all of VHS 2.
Yeah,
but I've seen parts of it. Usually because you have it on.
it's usually when we're on a band trip. I have it.
I was just
somewhere.
going to say, I think I've watched parts of it with you because you'll have it on in the plane or in the somewhere and something. Like
and it's
that.
not a movie you should watch on the plane in public when there's like children and sensitive people around, because there's like nudity and horrific violence and stuff.
Grim.
Yeah. So there's some parts of like, all right, I can't watch this segment because we're sitting next to some kids, so I'll skip to this one and then we'll watch that one.
real quick. I don't want to go off subject too quick, but I just got to bring up a really funny story because that reminds me. Were you sitting with us? Do you remember the one time years back, and it was when what was the name of the Sacha Baron Cohen film? Bruno. Yeah. Were you there when
I know you guys were sitting together? I wasn't there. I didn't see it, but I know what happened.
You weren't.
Yeah.
You weren't sitting next to us. So me and Paul are watching this movie. He was like, "Oh yeah, I got Bruno. Like I just got it. Like I don't even think it. You know, Paul always gets his hands on movies before other people do. You know, he's good with that kind of thing. He's big on trading things on the interwebs. But so he had gotten Bruno, and we were on a plane, like an international flight, I think it was. And Paul and I were sitting next to each other, and he's like, "I got Bruno, man." He's like, "You want to watch it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely, put it on." He's like, "Oh, I've heard it's so funny." So we didn't know what to expect from this movie. Have you ever seen Bruno?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about, though? You know who Sacha Baron Cohen is?
Yes.
Yeah, he does Borat and all those silly, yeah. So he did this movie called Bruno. And there's definitely some risque things and stuff that happen in there. But the worst part, the timing was amazing. So he's demonstrating or whatever, he's showing like his the execs or whatever, he's showing them this program that he filmed. And the whole thing is that it's supposed to be leading up to he's going to have his exclusive interview with Harrison Ford. And all this goofy shit's happening. Now, Paul and I are listening to this with headphones, so people can't hear anyway what's going on. Mm-hmm. Thank God. But it gets to the part when Bruno is running up to the car to interview, and it's like real too. Like he's running up to a car to interview. All of a sudden, Harrison Ford's getting out of the back of a car, and he's like, Mr. Ford, or whatever. And Harrison goes, fuck off, right? Which is funny. So as it was, we already thought that was funny. We were laughing at that. And then it literally, the very next scene it cuts to is a man naked from the waist down. It's a close-up of him from the waist down, full frontal, with his dick swinging around in a circle to like some like techno music, doing like windmills with his penis.
Oh my God.
And it's full on. I mean, it's not blurred. I mean, it's full on. So Paul's got this fucking this iPad or whatever it was. I think it was the old iPad we were looking at.
Like a 10-inch screen or something.
Like it was like a 10-inch. Yeah, exactly. And he's got it there. And right as that scene, right when it comes up and that scene of that cock swiveling and fucking slow motion happens, the fucking flight attendant walks up to us like, and we're just like, and she's looking at us like, oh my God, what the fuck? And we were like, ah, like, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Yeah. So that's what it makes me. Yeah. So we have a history of watching inappropriate things on planes on tour. That was the worst of them, though. But yeah, I end up getting turned on, to a lot of Vito's stuff because we end up sitting next to each other, and I'll be listening to something or reading or whatever, and then he'll be like watching something, and I'll kind of keep catching it. And I'm just like, what is this? That's how I found out about Cube.
Yeah, I remember.
And I ended up loving that. Like, that's fucking great. But I never would have watched that on my own, by my own accord. But I watched it with him. I was like, dude, let me watch. It was.
See, I have great taste in movies,
I was
guys.
going to say, Vito's corrupting you.
Yeah.
Bringing you to the dark side.
I think he's corrupting all of us.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Just wait till we get into Sequel Man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna change some minds with that.
We're going to change the whole world.
But in any case, sorry, I detoured you, derailed you from that. But I mean, so what is it about VHS that stands out so much from the rest of them?
It just, the scenarios and the way they're filming it, the reasons for filming it are just pretty unique. Like there's one segment called Amateur Night where it's okay. So it's a bunch of these bro douchebags that are going out trying to pick up chicks
Who deserve to die.
Yeah. And they have these spy camera glasses. So they have a pinpoint camera in the frame, and they're trying to basically make these homemade porno movies to put on the internet to get money, right?
Okay.
So they like con their buddy who's like this geeky dude into wearing the glasses, and they're trying to get him to like pick up some broad to bring back to the hotel room so we can screw him, right? But he is like a cool dude. He's a good guy. He doesn't want to do it.
I remember this part now.
So they end up picking up a group of girls. They go back to the room. And you find out that this one girl is like obsessed with this geeky dude. She's always like stalking him at the bar and saying, I like you. And she's weird looking. And you can already tell she's a little bit off.
Right.
So they go back to the hotel room. One of the girls passes out because she's drunk. So they leave her alone. But then they try to like team up on this weird looking chick. She doesn't want any part of these other guys. She only wants this geeky dude. And from there, terrible shit happens. And I mean, you don't see this coming. You don't know what this chick is. And I'm just going to say that it turns a very dark path.
Interesting.
Yes. I don't want to spoil it if you're not going to watch it. But
right.
It's fucking cool, dude. It's so badass. I love it.
She's queen of the harpies. Yeah, so to speak. Yeah. See, I like movies like this, kind of like we were saying about like Creepshow and stuff. I love the movies that have all the different stories in it, like Creepshow, this, Twilight Zone, the movie, anything that I love when they do them short like that,
Another thing is, if you don't like this short, well, you got 4 other ones that you can potentially watch and enjoy. One of them doesn't necessarily cancel the whole DVD or movie out just because one of them suck. There's still other ones that can make up for that,
Right. But yeah, so you chose this because this kind of is what got you hooked on that.
Yeah.
that
My love for
style.
found footage, I'm pretty sure started with this film.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And of course, they went on to make VHS 2 and VHS Viral, which VHS 2 is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, it's better than VHS, but I think VHS 1 is more scary and like, I guess, serious, where number 2 is like a lot more fun. Like number 2 has a first-person zombie attack short, where I've never seen that happen before.
Right.
So you literally have a dude who is like, he's riding his bike, he's got a GoPro on his helmet, he gets bit by a zombie, turns into a zombie, and then you see him turning other people into zombies from his point of view from
That's
the
pretty
GoPro. It's fucking badass, man.
That's I mean, that's
I could see us doing that.
yeah.
yeah, and that's I can respect that when they come up with something different like that.
It's
you know?
unique, yeah.
Unique. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Like with the glasses with the camera, that's something new that I haven't seen before in a movie.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of point of view stuff, but it makes sense to what's going on. So definitely highly recommend VHS. VHS Viral, you can probably skip that one. I didn't like that one at all.
No.
Wow.
There's some aspects of it that are cool, but it's like they rushed it into production, I think.
Oh.
And there's a lot of stuff that they could have done a lot better, but some of the ideas are fucking cool. Like one of them's a magician who has this magical cape that he can do, like he can like teleport people with this cape.
Okay.
It's fucking badass. But they ruined it because they just rushed it through, and it just
Oh,
if it was an entire movie just based on that, it would have been awesome.
interesting.
Yeah. Another one, this guy, it's he's in South America, I believe. It's all in Spanish. He like opens a dimensional portal in his basement, and he actually opens a portal to literally a parallel dimension, and he sees himself in there. They swap dimensions.
Okay. See, now you're making me want to see this.
But at the end of that, I'm like, why would you do that? You just ruined this whole fucking segment. So fucking brilliant idea, right? You go in there, you swap places with yourself in a different parallel universe, see how he lives,
right.
and then they fuck it up at the end, man.
Just like Fringe.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I started watching that show, then fell off, but I heard it got real good, and then it just like went off the rails after a while.
Yeah, it kind of went crazy after a
Yeah.
while. But yeah, that's
That
what they do.
sucks.
They have an alternate universe where they
Nice.
are trying to switch places.
Never watched it.
I loved Fringe.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looked awesome.
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
Chris Pine level or
Not quite.
not quite?
But I do like Joshua Jackson.
Oh shit, here we go, folks. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, and I want to check out Viral. Then that
Yeah.
sounds interesting. Is it worth at least watching?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to
Just don't expect it to be as good as the first two.
yes, for sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool, man. That's a good
Yeah.
choice. See, and you turned me on to another one now. I actually want to see that.
Well, you guys do have some trips coming up. You can watch them then.
That's true. Yeah. That's
Those
true.
long ass fucking drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
In the dark of Pennsylvania. Watching
Oh.
that movie, dude,
Ooh.
I'll fuck you up.
Oh.
Don't bring them back scarred.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I broke down one time in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Oh man.
Driving out to Philadelphia to go see him play HIM. Yeah, we broke down literally in the middle of the mountains, and
Jeez.
that was awful. Oh my god, I've never been more stressed out in my life, I think, than I was that night. I was so stressed. I can't even imagine like what my blood pressure must have been. I was a mess, you know. Ugh. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see. We'll debate about whether we're gonna watch that while we're driving through there. Might not take you up on that idea. So. But we'll
Just
see.
thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
Megan,
Thanks.
always with the great ideas.
I'm not going to be subjected to it, so.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're like, oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Want to move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I actually want to, since I think it's a better segue, let's skip mine for now and let's go to your number 3.
My number
because-
3 is kind of the same vein.
Yeah.
Of found footagey shit.
Yep.
Ooh.
So your number 3.
My number 3 was the Blair Witch Project. And I chose that
Eduardo
one.
Sanchez.
What?
Eduardo Sanchez did that one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I chose that one because that's one I actually went and saw in the theater. I went with my brother when it came out. And that came out. I was very freaked out walking to my car and stuff. I was very happy to have my brother with me at that point in time.
Well, you're still a teenager, right?
Yeah, we were still teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Perfect age for that.
Yeah, it freaked me the fuck out. I was not okay with any of that. But now, then you really think about it, and it kind of makes it even creepier because you don't know really what the true premise behind all of it was. It's like, is there really a witch? Or did those boys, did they actually lure her out there to kill her? Or did they just all go out there and get lost and just it fucked with their heads and their minds and they lost it and turned on each other? Or just because they were fucked up, they hurt themselves or something?
They blew that with the sequel because that Vito loves.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen the sequel, so I don't have that to pull from.
You can borrow it if you want. I don't know if you'll like it, but
I might.
It's not a fun footage at all.
No.
It's basically
I think I was just kind of reading. Is it recently, like 2016 or something like that?
No, that's Blair Witch. That's the third one in the series. That's a direct sequel to the first one. You might like that one, actually. It said
that he's like goes out to find his missing sister or something, and I assumed it was linked.
You might actually like that one. That one was pretty cool.
Was it?
Yeah. It's a different kind of fun. It's a modern found footage where you have sound design, you have loud noises when something pops up to scare you. There's cues for that. Where Blair Witch, they didn't have any of that stuff, right? So this one's a little bit different, but there were some pretty fucked up moments in it for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, number 2 is basically a documentary crew goes out to film to kind of disprove what happened at the events of the first Blair Witch. Like there's a couple that are writing a book, Hysteria or History or something like that, where they try to disprove all the events and,
Right.
But it's worth a watch to me.
To be fair, I think I only kind of half-assedly watched it back like when it first came out on video, but I was so like in love with the first one that this one just sort of, I was like, I probably would have liked it better if it wasn't Blair Witch 2, so mentally I wasn't with it. But yeah, I mean, I remember real clearly when Blair Witch came out. It was weird because the reason why I ended up liking it, check this out. You could probably appreciate this a little bit more. So before it came out, actually hit the theaters, because, here's the thing. So hang on. I want to look at this real quick because I was trying to remember this a minute ago when we were getting ready to talk about this. I was looking it up and I think I'm right. So Blair Witch Project premiered at Sundance Festival, at the film festival in January of 99. It didn't actually get into the theaters until July of 99. So there was 7 months there. At some point, it wasn't long before, a couple weeks, maybe a month before, a dude came into my store. For those who don't know, I used to own a comic book store back in the 90s, in the late 90s, which was literally the worst possible time to own a comic book store because comics were tanking hard at that point. They were anyway, that's a whole other discussion for another time. But in any case, I owned a store for 5 years from 96 to 2001. And so it was in the early summer of 99, I think it was, a dude I knew who came in there, and he was a big horror fan. And he was another one of these guys that always had stuff. He always had bootlegs and, things like that. He's the one that I remember came in and gave me the whole script. He had gotten the script for Dogma, the Kevin Smith movie. This was like months before it came out. And he had got his hands on the entire original script. So but by the time I went and saw Dogma, I already knew it. I read the whole script, and I was let down by Dogma because there was stuff that I loved in the script that got edited. We'll talk about that when we talk about Kevin Smith at some point. Wink, wink. But anyway, this guy brought in I would always have this stuff, He would just bring in this stuff for me because I was the dude that sold him comics and shit, so I guess I was cool. But anyway, he was like, oh man, did you hear about that Blair Witch movie coming? I'm like, yeah, I've heard rumblings about it. I don't know is it real? Is it phony? He's like, oh, I don't want to tell you much about it, He's like, but I actually got it. And he had a VHS tape of the Blair Witch Project. So I watched it for the first time on a fucking VHS bootleg tape, which honestly, folks, that was the way to go.
Yeah.
Really?
It was because I didn't know anything about it.
Can you imagine if they released a mass marketing campaign in cities around the U.S. by doing that? Like they sent stooges like that with tapes?
Well,
they would try to promote the movie that way and kind of get a small buzzing going for about a year?
They kind of did.
I know they did
not
it.
Exactly. They kind of did. They had built like the website about it and stuff.
I mean, that's an awesome fucking marketing, obviously.
At the time.
It made millions of dollars off of a $14,000 movie or whatever.
Well, the problem, here's the thing, and here's what I love about Blair Witch. I know you're not that crazy about the first one. You love the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I love the first one. But here's the thing is that we all probably got to agree upon is that it was brilliant from a marketing standpoint. And it's sad that now you can't do it anymore. There's no way. I mean, it would be so hard to make a movie like that, a legit fake movie, not like an actual murder movie. That you can sadly still do, I'm sure. But don't please. But like you can't do that. It's a lost art. Like it's unfortunate that the whole found footage thing came along so late. I know, and like we said before, I know that Blair Witch isn't technically the first found footage, but it's definitely the most.
The one that everybody thinks of or brought awareness to that style.
And it's just a shame that they didn't try that sooner, like even 10 years sooner and everything before we had the internet. Because, man, you could have really been even more impactful. This movie came out just fucking barely on the edge of being able to pull that off. Because I was still kind of new to the internet in 99. I'd only been online for maybe 2 years, if barely. I don't think I finally got on the... actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I actually got on the internet until like 98. Like where I started really like going into chat rooms and all that kind of shit, And it was still kind of a desert compared to now, like it was hard to find things and stuff was shittily done on the net. But yeah,
GeoCities websites.
GeoCities, yeah, I had one. But the cool thing about it was, like I said, so I hadn't even really looked up anything. I'd heard a little bit of word of mouth about this movie coming out, but I hadn't heard that it was real, phony. They were marking it in this nebulous way where you didn't know what it was going to, what is this? What is this going to be? Like you didn't even really know what it was going to be about. Just like some vague thing. Well, it's like found footage of these kids. We don't know what happened to them, and it's blah blah blah. And it was like, well, wait, is it real? Is it not real? Oh, nobody would come out flat out and tell you. Not long. I mean, by the time the movie did hit the theaters and stuff, you knew it was phony. But when I got that tape, I didn't know. I mean, I assumed it was not, that this is probably, but you get, and then especially the way it ended, because you're thinking, well, because again, this was new. This was all a new format. You're thinking, oh, well, there's going to be some thing at the end and we'll know that it's bullshit. There'll be credits, and there wasn't. It just ended with, who was it? Mike or Josh that was in the corner?
I thought she was screaming Mike, so wasn't Mike in
Mike,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, Josh was gone.
Yeah.
That was, and everything. So it ends with that and just cuts off with that camera falling and all that kind of stuff. And I remember watching it and I was just like, wait, what? Like, what did I just watch? And I just felt like, oh, like, should I have even watched that?
Yeah.
And yeah, Vito, like, I wish you could have seen it that way, because it would have impacted you so differently. Because seeing it like that, so I had a good couple of weeks where I was just like, I don't even know what to think about that, And people were coming in saying, oh yeah, did you see that movie that's coming to the theater next? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, I know about that. And I wouldn't tell anybody. I'd be like, just go see it. Just go see it. But then, like I said, by the time it actually hit the theater, it became pretty much known, like, oh, yeah, no, because they had Heather was doing like the rounds.
Tonight Show and all that.
Yeah, things like that. So then it was.
That actress was in a badass sci-fi miniseries called Taken that Spielberg did that was incredible.
Oh, yeah?
I remember that.
Yeah. That's a definitely recommend for all you sci-fi geeks out there.
So, yeah, that's a great choice, man.
Yeah, I mean, I find it scarier, the unknown, than having like somebody attack me or supernatural. Something like if it's unknown because you hear something and it freaks you out, and it could be just behind you. You never know, and that really freaks me the fuck out.
And I think one of the main problems for that movie for me is I'm so used to seeing the monster and the dude with the knife.
Right.
So when I didn't see that, I was like, what the fuck? You can't just show me that and not tell me what happened or who did it. I think that's what kind of put me off because I was so used to seeing films that you knew at the end who was doing what, And
I think that's why I like this one because it didn't have that. Yeah. It was enjoyable to watch. It wasn't slow and boring. I didn't think, but because I was freaked out the entire time because you're home alone and stuff, and I hear something. I'm like, I'm not going down there.
I think
I've seen shadows outside my kitchen window and stuff. I'm not going out there. I don't know what the thing is, but I'm not going out there.
I think Eduardo was trying to get some crowdfunding going to release like a 3.5 hour version of Blair Witch.
Really?
Because they have like tons of footage that they had to edit down for
the
1.5 hour, 2 hour minute mark. So he started a campaign like a couple years ago to get all that footage to release it as a DVD.
Just tell them that's all right. Don't worry about it. Eventually, we're gonna make our movie. We're planning.
Yeah, we got our own.
And that's just gonna fulfill everybody's needs when we make the movie, because ain't nobody gonna be caring about Blair Witch at that point. You just wait and see, folks. That's
just wait.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And there are extended universe novels and like little tidbits.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's some young adult novels, and then there's like. I think it's called the Blair Witch Manifesto or something like that, where they kind of explain the backstory of Rustin Parr and the witch and all the kids and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And there's 3 video games made that were supposedly awful.
Yeah.
I didn't play them, but...
You should.
Yeah. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. But
I'm sure I can find them.
Yeah. Well, that could be
I will resell shop until I find it.
That could be something we look into for future episodes of Vito Plays.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny.
I know just how bad this really is.
Yeah,
exactly.
You'll probably love it.
Probably. It was a late 90s, early 2000s video game, so I'm probably going to like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, that's a great choice. I mean, and it was kind of like a lot of these other ones. It was a trendsetter, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it was groundbreaking. Whether you
dug it or not,
you can't take away the legacy it left. So.
Yeah, and I don't take away that legacy. Like I respect what it did for the genre and that's awesome, but I just don't personally like the movie.
Gotcha.
That's all.
We'll forgive you this
all right,
time.
Thanks.
You got enough strikes against you already. So I'll let you slide on that one.
Oh man, yeah, just I wouldn't even argue with her. Just let it go.
It is Grouch Day or whatever it is.
Is it?
It is Grouch Day.
Is it?
So.
All right.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to let you live right now.
Yeah.
All right.
We won't mess with Oscar over there. So. But anything else you want to say about that one?
I don't think so. I think we covered it.
Cool. All right. Cool. Well, on the note of influential movies, I think there's nobody that can argue that my number 3 is probably one of the most influential horror movies of all time. That would be 1968's Night of the Living Dead. George A. Romero. What's interesting? What's funny is it came out exactly 50 years ago this week.
No shit.
Really?
Oh, that makes sense.
When we're recording this. Yeah, it came out this week. 50 years old. So happy birthday, Night of the Living Dead. You smelly, rotting motherfuckers. Have you guys seen this movie?
No.
You've
I
never
don't think I have.
Really? I'm kind of surprised because I mean it's one of those ones that they do show this one on regular TV,
Mhm.
pretty often, I guess. What about you?
I've seen most of it. Yeah, it's another one I don't think I've sat from beginning to end, but I pretty much know everything and all the scenes in the movie.
Right. Yeah. Part of why I like this movie, what I always was intrigued about with this movie is because it's got. See, I'm unlike a lot of other people in that I like movies that are a little bit slower, within reason. I like slower paced movies. I like movies that give you a little bit more time to sort of develop and get to know the characters, because it makes you care a little bit more about whether they're actually going to survive.
Yeah,
or not.
for sure.
The problem with a lot of like the later, slasher type movies and things like that is I'm just sort of like,
well, because it's not about character development. It's about show me the gore.
Yeah,
and that's all I care about.
And I
So
don't
that's-
see it, and I don't and I don't like that at all. Like I don't care about the gore. I want to know. I'm more interested in like the people, and whether I want to see them make it or I want to see them get fucking tore apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in that regard, then I there might be, like in this movie, there's the crotchety white old dad guy that he and his wife and the little girl wind up at the shed or the house, whatever you want to call it, the cabin thing. And that guy's like a complete piece of shit, racist, fucking bigot, fucking piece of shit. And you're just like, I can't wait till this fucking guy dies, So, and that to me makes it fun then, whereas then there's other characters that I'm like, oh, I really hope they make it, and then if they don't make it, then it's more heart wrenching. You're like, oh, fuck, and this is like a good movie for that. It almost, because it's an old movie and that's how a lot of them were, it almost feels like this could have been like a play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't even have, it would work perfectly fine as like a stage production. I don't know if it's ever been a stage production. It could have been at some point.
That'd be kind of cool to see, actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it would work as a stage production to me,
Do you know if like Romero had a stage background, or did he direct this one as well as write it, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good question. Let me look.
I'm gonna guess he doesn't, but
No, I've never, maybe he does, but I've never heard of that. I mean, obviously he's known for his string of movies built off of this.
Yeah.
What about the other ones? Have you seen like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead?
yes, those I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Dawn of the Dead.
Is that the shopping mall
Yes.
one? Okay,
Yeah.
that was cool. The music's real good in that.
Yep.
Goblin did that one, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And we saw them at Maryland Death
That's
Fest,
right.
dude. One of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen, man.
Yeah, that was really cool. So, again, I'm sure most people would know, but if you don't, they're like Italian, aren't they?
Yeah.
The band Goblin did all these horror soundtracks. They did for this, and they did like Suspiria and a lot of those Argento films and stuff. And we went and saw them play at Maryland Death Fest because we played that year, and they actually played the music and stuff on stage, and then they had giant screens where they were showing like montages of the movie
Where that soundtrack was, the scene or whatever from where it was.
where
Oh,
it
nice.
fit
Yeah, it
in.
was
Yes,
fucking
so
cool.
it was really interesting.
And the band was fucking heavy, dude. Like
Yeah.
like metal heavy. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. They're heavy. I mean, a lot of their fans are metal.
They're basically a prog metal band that does horror soundtracks.
Pretty
It's-
much. But I mean, there's not much I can really say about Night of the Living Dead that hasn't been said like a bazillion times. Were you going to say something?
I don't see anything talking about
A stage
play-
back.
Yeah.
stage. He started in short films and TV commercials and went from there to
Right.
film. So
Yeah, see, to me, that's this. I just, ever since I was like a teenager, I just always had it in my head that it was like this could be a play. Like I want to be in this play, because I was in a few, when I was a kid. What?
nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What are you laughing? Which one are you thinking of that you're laughing about?
Where she screwed up your snowman and you ran off the stage.
That was a
screaming you
whole.
hate
That
her.
was not a play.
Ooh,
that
what
was
was
a
this?
whole. That was a whole other thing.
I'll tell you my funny play story if you tell me yours.
Oh, we need play stories.
All right, real quick. So it's December 1979. I'm in second grade. My teacher, Miss Ratcliffe, ends up asking what songs we want to perform, because every class at our Christmas assembly. So I went to a school that was kindergarten through 8th grade. All right. And they would have it like an all day or all afternoon, like assembly on the last day of school before Christmas break. So usually like December 22nd or 23rd or whatever, something like that. So our class, she asked, we had to vote on what songs we were going to do. And we ended up, and each class would do like 2 songs, or I think some of the older classes would actually do like a little play, like a little 10-minute skit kind of thing. They might do like Scrooge or something like that. But we were just little guys, second grade,
Mm-hmm.
So I was, in December of 79, I would have been 6. No. Yes, 6. And so the songs we chose were Santa Claus is Coming to Town and Frosty the Fucking Snowman. All right. So then Miss Ratcliffe says, oh, well, what would be cute is if, we're going to have all the class stand on risers and sing the song, and everybody had to wear their mittens and their winter hats and their scarves and everything. But then we're going to do like little routines as well. So when we're going to do Santa Claus is Coming to Town, we need one of the kids to come out dressed up like Santa Claus in a little Santa Claus outfit with a sack and like throw boxes, hand boxes to the kids standing there, and and like wave and dance around like an asshole and everything.
Was that you? Were you the asshole?
No,
Okay.
no, I wasn't that.
No, not yet.
I wasn't that asshole. No, that went to my buddy Fat Robbie Johnson.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I remember him from another story.
Yeah, so
Too good for kids, right? Is that
yeah, he's the one that convinced me that I couldn't eat Toffee Fay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because the tagline for Toffee Fay candies was "It's too good for kids." And so he was like, "You can't eat that. It's too good for kids." I was like, "I don't want to get in trouble." So I for years I still look at Toffee Fay like it's forbidden fruit. Like I don't know.
Das ist verboten.
Right. So anyway, because he was like the bigger kid in class, and he was like, I have a Santa Claus suit already. It's like, okay, I don't even remember why the fuck he had a Santa Claus suit. He's 7 years old.
Making extra money on the side or something?
I guess, yeah.
Working at the mall.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing him, that's entirely possible. But so he was going to be Santa Claus. Now, he was my best friend. So I was like, oh, well, Robbie's going to get to do something. Like, I want to be involved, like, I don't want to be left out. So then she was like, oh, we can, we should do something for Frosty the Snowman. It's kind of self-explanatory. They talk about the kids that put him together, and then, and I was like, which was unusual for me because I was the shyest kid in the class. I was super shy. I was a little younger than everybody else because I started school early, like William Miller and Almost Famous. Like I was always younger than everybody else in my class. So, but I was like, I'll do it. And the teacher was tickled that I was willing to do it, and everything was like, all right, Larry, are you going to be able to get a Frosty costume? I'm like, yeah, I'll tell my parents, which I did. And my dad was like, okay, we're going to
calm down.
We're going to, no, he was like, all right, we're going all out with this fucking thing. So my dad, because he was a real handy kind of guy, he made, we'll put up a fucking picture of this.
Yes.
He made a Frosty costume for me that was actually, it ended up looking more like Mr. Peanut.
Okay.
In a way, because it kind of went like this, whereas I guess it should have been more round, more like more defined.
Yeah.
But he made it kind of like a little bit more peanut shaped, but it was made out of like metal. He made like a metal frame.
Oh shit.
Welded it. Like he actually fucking welded it. And it had a hole at the top for my head to come out, holes on each side for my arms to come out, and a big hole on the bottom for both my legs to come out, right? And we would just slide it over me like a shell. And then
be the best Frosty ever.
And then my mom made papered it with a bunch of paper mache, right? Like over it, stuck to it, glued to it. And then they painted it white, painted the lumps of coal on there. And then what I wore underneath was I just wore white long johns to cover my arms, my legs. I had the little black winter boots on, my head sticking out. And now my arms are kind of like hanging out because I was really, really scrawny. I was such a small, scrawny little kid, like just like a twig, you know. So this thing was kind of big and heavy on me. Like it was like, whoa, you know, my arms were kind of like stuck almost half scarecrowish out of the sides of this. So I'm like this. They put the gloves on me and everything. So I've got these big old winter gloves on. And the whole thing was that I would be standing there, or they'd parade me out when they'd start singing Frosty the Snowman. And then there were like 2 kids that got chosen to be the 2 kids to like hand me stuff. Because as they're saying, you know, it's corncob pipe and his button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. So they go and like one kid like goes to stick the corncob pipe in my mouth. And I'm supposed to be standing there still. Plus, I can't move real great as it is. And one kid sticks corncob pipe in my mouth, and then another one sticks like the button nose on my nose kind of thing and everything. And then they get to there must be some fucking magic when the old silk hat they found. So when they put it on my head, I'm supposed to dance around.
Oh, I know this is going to be good.
So Yvette Esquivel.
You still remember the broad's name?
Fuck yeah, I do. She's actually on my friends list on Facebook. She's a good girl, but Yvette Esquivel.
Calling her out like
I
40 years later.
Yeah. That was almost 40 years later. Wow. Went to go put the hat on, and what they did was it was a hat, and then they had a string that was supposed to go under my chin so that it would stay on. And then I was supposed to come to life and fucking dance around. Well, when she went to go put the hat on, she ends up knocking the corncob pipe out of my mouth. And I'm like, oh fuck, you know. And then like, so then I'm like trying, and then she's trying, and she, you know, being a little girl, and she's laughing, like she thinks it's funny. She's like, because she's so nervous and laughing. She's laughing, and the other kid's laughing and stuff. And then the audience starts laughing.
Oh no!
and then the hat falls down and everything.
Apart, man.
I all fell, and they're already singing thumpity thump thump, and look at Frosty go.
He ain't going nowhere.
Oh, I did.
He does.
Oh, I did. I immediately turned beet red and screamed. I was like, I hate you. And I was like, and I stormed off stage.
Oh man!
And I stormed backstage, and I was like inconsolable, man. Inconsolable. I was so upset. Like this was my big moment. You know, this was my first time on stage, you know, like really on stage. My first moment on stage was that, you know, and
you spend the rest of your career trying to redeem yourself from that moment.
Pretty much. And I've had how many more awful moments have I had on stage? Let's see. I passed out and almost died at Reggie's a few years ago.
That was a bad one.
Both of my
I just left. I just missed that.
Both of my strap bolts came out of my fucking guitar. Both fucking strap bolts came out of the. It's not even that the strap locks broke. The bolts, the actual screws, came out of the body of my baritone at the Grass Pop
That's
show.
right. And I'm like 50 feet down the stage. Larry comes running. Get the guitar! What are you talking about?
I'm like, Vito! I'm screaming at him. Vito's like in his own world. We're on stage in front of, what, like 8,000 people? Literally, I'm not exaggerating. Watch the video. It's on YouTube. We were on stage in front of like 8,000 people. It was one of the biggest crowds we ever played. And we're playing Rain, and it was right after the clean section. I like went boom like this, and boop. And it yanked I guess I was just raging metal so fucking hard that I yanked the strap, like I pulled the screws out of the body of the guitar. There's no fixing that. At the time, you know what I mean? There is no way to fix it. And I can't just put another strap on. I'm like, what am I going to do? Sit on the ground? and play guitar. So I had to play the rest of that song like crouched down in this like Yngwie Malmsteen like position.
Good thing you practice those poses when you're younger, man.
Fuck yeah. It's a good thing I could stretch. Yeah. People, you watch the video and you see me crouched down and I've got the body of the guitar like on the ground and I'm still trying to play. And people are like, oh man, he's being real fucking dramatic. And I'm like, no. I have no strap locks. Like, I have no strap bolts in my guitar. That kind of shit happens to me far too often.
And there's video of this.
Yeah.
Of grass pop?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know.
I don't think you see the guitar.
You don't
fall.
see the thing come out. You see afterwards. You see the aftermath.
But I think you can hear Larry screaming.
You can hear me yelling because Vito's looking at me. And I'm like, Vito. He's like, what? I'm like, spare guitar. He's like, what? I'm like, spare guitar. Where is it?
Because we're like a block away from each other because the stage is so fucking long.
We're playing on the biggest stage of our lives. Like, this stage was literally like a gigantic festival stage. Like, Vito was, yeah, I'm shouting at him across the stage. He can't hear me,
Man, the first time I played Grass Up, I couldn't hear the drums on this stage.
Oh, wow.
That says something.
Yeah.
I fucked up the intro to Rain, I think, because I wasn't on time with the toms.
Yep. Yeah. Yep, that's right.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. But
and then there was the first time I ever played a proper gig in front of people at that fucking school in Maryville when the drum fell off. When the drum fell off and rolled into the crowd.
Really?
Oh, we'll save that story for another time. I have so
many stories I've never heard.
Oh, yeah. This is why Cole loves hanging out with me
Right?
because she's like...
She's going to love you told the Frosty story.
Well, she loves that story. She knows the story. That's one of her favorites.
Yeah.
That's one of her favorites. But she's going to love that I'm telling the whole fucking world now. But anyway, the end of that story was that the teacher went to the class afterwards because I wouldn't go back to class. I wouldn't go. I was like...
transfer state schools. He's out of there.
That day, I like stayed backstage. My mom was there, of course, and and she was like, "It's fine, honey." I'm like, everybody was laughing at me, and they're like, they weren't laughing at you, they were laughing at the miss. But I didn't understand. All I knew is it was my big moment, and everybody was laughing at me. But I guess my mom told me years later that I guess like Miss Ratcliffe went back to the class and like admonished everybody in the class and was like, if any one of you says a fucking word to him about that,
you're dead.
Yeah. Your ass is fucking grass. So then I went back to class and everybody was just
flowers
like,
and
yeah, everybody was just like, oh, it was fine. Wasn't a big deal. It's okay, Larry. Don't worry about it. But I guess it was because the teacher actually like threatened him. Like, if any of you fucking make fun of him for that, I will beat your little asses. So she was a good teacher. But yeah, it's funny. I'll laugh if any of because I know some of my old schoolmates from back then like are on my Facebook and they might even like listen to these. So it'll be funny if any of them do. And if I don't know if anybody remember that. Do you remember that, Yvette? Do ya? Because I do. No, poor thing. I made her feel so bad. I'm sure when I did that, but ooh, I was mad. But anyway.
Yeah, Vito's story. I'm ready for Vito's now.
I don't think we have time for mine.
No,
because we're on our number two.
No, we'll save. No, you know what? We'll save that because we're gonna be doing more episodes pertaining to this. But I'm not gonna forget.
Oh, you're spilling it.
It's not as good as yours. But.
Yeah. Well. Still, but anyway, went way off track as I tend to do. So you can blame Megan.
Yeah, I guess that was my fault.
Night of the Living Dead. I mean, again, there's not much I can really say about it. I don't have any great insights about it. It's self-explanatory. It's the first like breakout zombie movie, of its kind. It's psychological. It's so well done. The fucking ending of the movie is such a bummer, but not in the way that you expect. You watch this whole movie and it gets to the end and it's got the twist ending. And it's there's a lot of social commentary in this movie, especially for the time, when it's dealing with things like racism and bigotry and sexism, all these different things that were they still are a hot topic, aren't they? But they were really first the hot topic back then in '68, and so much social unrest going on in this movie, and in its own interesting way, like wraps that all up, wraps up all the social unrest and different things going on in the world in this little humble black and white horror movie. It's spawned tons of not only copycats, movies, and spawned all the Dead series, but classic lines, they're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. I mean, it's a great movie. That's why it had to be in my list. It actually ended up bumping out another movie in my list that I'm just going to relegate to honorable mentions, although technically that movie belongs in this list too. If it was 6, it would be right in there. So, but we'll talk about that when we get to honorable mentions. But anyway, so, all right, cool. Time to make a number 2. But that's not to say that these movies are shit by any means. These are not shitty movies. In fact, it's the complete opposite. These are some of, we're getting to the top, man,
This is Oscar-winning movies I think we're going to be talking about here in number 2s.
Yeah, some of them at least,
Mine is.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's start with yours, Vito.
Mine is Phantasm 2 from my boy, Don Coscarelli.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about Phantasm and Phantasm 2 and stuff. So, but again, just why would you go? What was so impactful for you about Phantasm 2?
Just the idea of these silver balls chasing people and like digging into their brains and sucking out their blood was just a fucked up concept. And the ending of this movie might have started my fascination with deaths by acid.
Wow!
I did not
see that coming.
Didn't know you had such a fascination.
Both a fascination and just being really grossed out by them. But it's like a train wreck. I cannot not watch it. It's weird, man. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Learned something new about Vito.
Yep. I just love acid deaths, acid getting sprayed in people's faces and they melt on screen. There's just something about it that grosses me out and fascinates me at the same time. But this was a movie I remember seeing on TV late at night when I was a kid. And I was like, what the fuck is this movie? This looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Then I found the VHS at some store randomly one night or one day. And I was like, ooh, I think my godfather bought it for me or something when we were out one day. And I was like, I need this video because it's really good. And they didn't know what the fuck it was.
Right.
They didn't know it was a rated R horror film. There's tits in the movie. There's dismemberment. There's tons of blood. And I mean, it's probably not a good movie for... Well, it came out when I was 6. I probably didn't watch it till I was probably 8 or 9, maybe 10, somewhere around there. But
yeah, 10 is kind of borderline for that, But I mean, that's not. It seems like those movies, especially in this genre, the ones you saw during that time are the ones that are going to impact you the most. I guess that's like, duh, obviously, but
yeah,
I mean that's the case. That's the case with all these movies for me. Other than my number 4, other than Nosferatu, all of these movies I saw by the time I was 10. So and they're in my top 5. So that's they impact you in a certain way. Yeah, I remember when I told you before. I remember when this movie came out in '88. Man, it was like people were so excited that there was a sequel coming out, and I was a teenager, so like the ultimate teenage movie. And let me look. I think it was in the summer. So teenage summer horror movie, man. Like for that year, I was going into junior year, and Phantasm 2 was it. I remember the commercials so clearly. They'd always show them during Headbangers Ball, of course.
Yeah.
So I'd be like watching Headbangers Ball, and just every commercial break, you'd see the fucking Phantasm 2, and I'd be like, can't wait to fucking go see that, man.
Because Coscarelli got a lot of money from the studios to make this. I think this was his first big budget studio film, whereas Phantasm was an indie film that took him 2 years or something to make on weekends with his friends, But since that one did so well, later on the studio came to him and gave him money to make for this one, which you can tell because the production value on this movie is top notch.
Yeah, it was surprising how much better. But that was the thing. Like we'd see the commercials, we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because all of us most of us had probably seen and like I said, I don't recall. I have a hard time remembering because I thought I saw Phantasm 2 first. But now that I think about it, I'm trying to remember. I'm like, well, no, wait a minute. Maybe I did see. If I saw it first, I saw Phantasm 1 not long after that,
Yeah.
So, but I knew it was like a big jump up in quality and stuff. So,
And there's certain lines that make me laugh from this movie.
it's
Like if you're familiar
yeah.
with it, there's a scene where the tall man is in the mortuary and the
Angus
blonde girl,
Scrim.
Angus Scrim. He's in there and this girl walks in and he sees her and he goes, "Hello again and goodbye," and he like bitch slaps her and she goes flying across the room. Just hysterically funny to me.
Man.
Yeah, it's good shit, dude. Yeah, this is one that stuck with me since I was a kid, and I always have to watch it every year, multiple times a year. I just fucking love the hell out of this movie so much.
Cool.
And I love the sequels, too. Like Phantasm 3, awesome.
Okay.
So that one has like a little kid that kind of, it's like a Home Alone meets a horror film, because this kid, his parents die when the tall man comes to town. So his house, he has booby trapped with all these traps, and these muggers come in, and they set up the traps, and they get killed, obviously, like, she gets a hatchet to the face. He has a Frisbee with these razor blades on the outside, so he throws it, and the Frisbee comes and slices this dude's neck. It's awesome.
It sounds great.
It's
It
great.
sounds like a Home Alone meets Commando.
Yeah. Actually, that's a very accurate representation, Megan.
Well,
And Predator too, because of the disc that he throws.
The
Right,
disc.
right.
Well, they kind of had that Commando whenever he sliced that guy's head open,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's Saw
That
Blade.
infamous scene.
Dude.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So good.
Yeah, that's a great choice, man. I mean, like I said, I haven't watched that movie in years and years and years because, again, once I got past my teens, I kind of got out of a lot of that kind of stuff. But it was a great summer movie for that year. Yeah, so good choice.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So let's talk about real quick another one we don't need to really wax on too much about, because if you want to hear our thoughts about this movie, go all the way back to the very first Geeking Poetic podcast when we talked about Stephen King, because my number 2 is Salem's Lot, which didn't I say Salem's Lot wasn't that my number 1 when we did Stephen King?
It might have been.
I think it
I
was.
think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I can't think of what I would have made number 1. Yeah, Salem's Lot. Again, for those that didn't see the other or hear the other podcast, I saw that when it came out on TV. A lot of hype about it. My parents were all jazzed because they'd read the book, and boy, that movie just got in my head and under my skin. It scared the shit out of me. And especially being that age, because again, it was the 1979, the same year as the old Frosty incident. There was all sorts of traumatizing events that went on for me in 1979. Don't even get me started on what my Halloween costume was that year. We will talk about that soon. We'll save that for...
We didn't talk about that one yet?
no, I don't think so.
Okay. We'll save it.
Yeah, we'll save...
We'll cover it.
Yeah, no, that's a good one, and it's one of the only ones I have pictures of as well. So that one wasn't as bad, but like it wasn't traumatizing. But yeah. Me and costumes just don't always work out so well with one another. But anyway, 1979. Yeah, obviously super impressionable. I hadn't really seen a lot of horror at that point. And what freaked me out about Salem's Lot was the atmosphere of it. It felt at the time, it felt real. Like it felt like, wow, this could happen. It certainly made me afraid of basements and crawl spaces when it gets to the Marston house with that crawl space scene. Like I'm sure I talked about before, with all the vampires slowly waking up, and crawling towards that door when Mark Petrie is sitting there and he's got the injured ankle. There's that door right behind him, and then you just slowly in the darkness you start to see them like crawling towards. And oh my God, I just remember being 6 years old. I must have been balled up in the tightest little nail biting ball. Like move. Mark, keeper, move. You gotta move, kid. Move. They're coming right. They're right fucking behind you. Move. Meanwhile, fucking Starsky or whatever, or Hutch or whatever is over there taking his sweet ass time, staking Barlow. So. Yeah, it was just such a great movie to see at that time. It was like the perfect movie for me to be introduced into those kind of movies because it was very scary for its time. It wasn't too gore, there really wasn't gore. There was a lot of stuff you didn't see. The effects in it and everything are so hokey and bad. But directed by Toby Hooper, so that's kind of cool, it wasn't Texas Chainsaw, but it's like cool that my first real impact, one of my first really impactful, I guess the most impactful one is my number one that we'll get to. So, but just a great movie. I think it's underrated. I mean, we talked about all that before. I still think it's a good movie. This movie, also, it's my number 2 on this list, but this is my number 1 Halloween time movie. Like I always watch Salem's Lot this time of year when Halloween is coming. Like to me, this is a great Halloween movie for me. It doesn't bother me psychologically anymore. I'm totally fine with it and everything. But it's still like I can still remember being 6 years old and being terrified when the Glick boys are flying up to the window and stuff. When you're a kid, I'm looking, these are kids, man. And I'm a kid, and these are kids, and they're the killers, and they're undead killers. And it was like, whoa. Up to that point, everything was, Dracula and Frankenstein and the Wolfman and, these things like this. This is a little kid in his pajamas that got killed, who's probably only a couple years older than me, if that, that got killed in the woods by this bastard, and now he's like, coming to kill his brother and it's like, whoa, mind blowing. So,
bet you were glad then not to have a sibling.
Yeah. I grew up an only child and didn't have any type of siblings until later in life and stuff. So, that was yes and no, because the only bad thing is I never had anybody to
turn to.
Yeah, like I didn't have like somebody like, we'll kind of watch out for each other kind of thing,
Oh, okay.
That was.
I just thought of a story with me and my brother, and we'll tell it at another thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Where we totally fucked around with him.
Right.
Wasn't the good big sister at that point.
Yeah, we'll save it
we'll
save it for the memories discussion and stuff. But anyway, I don't need to say much more about it. Just that's why it's my number 2, and it's my number 1 Halloween time movie to watch and everything. It's perfect. Not too gory, not too scary, little silly. It's old, it's nostalgic. It's all the things I want out of a Halloween movie. So
good choice.
Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, as Vito takes a sip of his Hoegaarden, I'm envious. I actually wouldn't mind one of those right now, but
that might be my last one, actually.
Oh, sure.
Sorry.
That's all right. I can't anyways. So let's move on to number 1.
Number 2. We're still on number 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't talk about.
Wait, nice. Skip me over. It's okay.
All right, so number 2.
Back it up.
Just back it up. Just backing up. It's not doing nothing. I didn't mean nothing by it. Never
I just saw YouTube. Michael Pena broke down his most iconic characters. There's some kind of channel that does that, but I haven't actually watched the movie yet or the skit yet.
Oh,
I'm sure he's going to talk about Ant-Man, though.
Yeah, so. I'd love to see that. Yeah. He's great, man. Love that guy. Anyway, sorry, Megan.
You should be.
Please don't hobble me for...
Don't you tempt me.
Yeah, because fittingly enough, your number 2
is Misery. And it's all the hobbling scene that really gets you.
Oh,
yeah.
It still gives me shivers every time I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I debated for a hot second about us doing a teaser of that, and I was going to hobble Vito, but I don't know how well that would go.
That's grim.
I don't
man.
think he could handle it.
No.
I wouldn't really hobble him.
Oh, okay. Phew.
Maybe. If you weren't realistic enough, then maybe, but no.
So why did this make it number 2?
Because it's creepy. Just this normal, sweet girl. And
Seemingly.
yeah. She rescues what happens to be her favorite writer and stuff, and takes him back. And she's gonna nurse him back to health. And then all hell breaks loose, and she hobbles the shit out of him so he won't leave. And
drugs
Such a
him. And
dark
drugs
movie,
him, yeah.
man.
it is
it's
dark.
like she's not happy. He's killing off her favorite characters, and so she makes him rewrite it. And yeah, it's just freaky.
Yeah, shows you sometimes like the biggest monsters are just people.
Just regular people.
Somebody that could be your next door neighbor. Everybody in town knows her.
He always
and it's
says,
like,
she was always the nicest person.
Right.
You know.
Until they strap you to bed and break your ankles.
Exactly.
I was just going to say, wait a minute. This sounds like somebody else we know, Vito. But she's so nice and she's so quiet and, so shy. And she seems like, so harmless and innocent.
Who could we be talking about?
Beats the shit out of me. I don't know.
I think she's going to beat the shit out of both of us. And she is the one that was just
People
saying,
have seen our teasers. They know better.
Yeah. Yeah, people have commented about that. They're like, boy, Megan's always the mean one. She's always so, and I'm like,
yeah, you guys make me so mean in the teasers.
we make you so mean.
You guys drive me to it.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah. I feel for her.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's my number 1 wintertime movie.
Okay.
If it's
Really?
snowing out, I have to put Misery on.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have even
Yeah, I
thought.
could see that.
It just puts me in the mood. Like listening to Dissection
mood.
in the winter or something. It's like I have to. First snowfall, Storm of the Lightsbane.
By dissection.
Yeah, popping that in, man.
So you listen to Dissection and watch Misery.
Yeah.
That's a pretty grim. That's a pretty grim existence there, Vito. I think we need to make sure we come and visit you more often in the winter, so you don't start going crazy Shining style or something. That's because that sounds pretty grim.
Check his bedroom for people tied to the beds.
Yeah. People under the stairs.
We just think that's his cats upstairs. It's really somebody trying to get loose.
That's a good point. Vito always locks his cats
Right?
up in his bedroom upstairs so they're not, getting into things and everything. But we hear them scurrying around, thumping around up there. How do we know?
I don't think we do know.
For that matter, there could be some fucking jagoff under the stairs with no tongue,
That's true.
scraping away, as the, little black kid in there, like, I'm going to get you out of here and everything. Tongueless dude. And so, you ever see that movie, People Under the Stairs?
No.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, I'm telling you then. Next Halloween, we need to remember this shit. Next Halloween, I want our feature to be about that we have to watch all these movies. We need to make like lists for each other of movies that we haven't all seen. Like I could have seen them, but you guys haven't seen them, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
because you guys got to see People Under the Stairs. Dark comedy, horror, like early 90s. I would totally have thought you would have seen that.
I always saw the trailers for it. I just never watched it.
I mean, it is a little goofy, but it's not bad. It's cool, but it's goofy, dark comedy.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah. But
Like The Room.
if more people in the world would just love each other, the world would be a better place. There's no horror in that, Vito. Huh? Now tell me about your sex life. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer. I'd say let's do a review of The Room, but everybody has done a review on
Everybody's
The
done
Room.
that.
So.
Well, we saw that movie before a lot of
Yeah,
people
that's
did.
true.
We were fortunate that we got turned on to that like early days before it became like this phenomenon. Another one we were like, what the fuck are we watching?
All thanks to fucking Saw, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep, Tony
Challenge
Miles.
a Ninja.
Oh man, so Tony Miles, a good friend of ours who directs videos and in short movies, commercials. He's awesome. He turned us on years ago. I mean, like a decade or so ago. Like he turned us on one time. He was like, "Did you guys ever hear The Room?" And he made us watch it. And it was fucking awesome. Yeah, man, I could just do a list of movies that Tony fucking turned us on to. That, Challenge the Ninja. My God.
Good old Bruce Barron, man.
Fucking Challenge the Ninja. Fucking Filipino fucking martial arts movies. So bad, but they're amazing. Anyway, so sorry. Talk about Misery.
That's okay.
But
I really don't have more to say because, again, we touched on it in the Stephen King episode. That was in my top 5. I can't remember if it was my number 1 or not, but
that's true.
So if you want to hear more, Stephen King
absolutely,
episode.
Absolutely, because it does kind of tie in. I mean, he's great, one of the, if not the greatest horror writer of all time, arguably. It ties in with this, so yeah, go back if you're just hearing us like for the first time, or you're kind of newer to us or whatever, and you haven't checked out the Stephen King episode. It's really good. It's early days for us.
early.
The very first episode.
It was our first thing we ever did. Yeah, but definitely check it out for sure.
For sure.
Seriously. So
seriously.
For real.
Seriously. yeah, that's another story.
We'll tell that one later.
Yeah, we'll save that story. All right, so now, Megan, is it time?
Now it is time for number 1.
It's time.
Is it numero uno?
Cinco.
Eins.
Eins. Yeah. Eins. Yeah, start getting all Rammstein on them. All right, let's start with you, Vito. You're number 1.
A little movie I like to call. Well, I didn't call it this, actually.
But it's kind of a little movie.
It is. Child's Play 2.
Because you knew it had to be a sequel.
It has to be.
His top 2 were sequels.
Yeah, that's
right.
true. And
So,
they were both number 2 in the series.
Yep. He's big on number 2. You take that however you want. No, but seriously, okay. I mean, like, the original Child's Play is, legendary, iconic. What is it about 2 that takes the top spot?
The ending scene in the toy factory.
Oh, okay.
To me, it's one of the most brilliant last 20 minutes or so of a movie ever shot.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. All the scenes in that ending sequence are just fucking incredible. I mean, the technician guy that gets his eyes jammed with the doll eyes in that machine, which doesn't even make sense, but it was hilarious to see.
A horror movie that doesn't make sense?
What?
Yeah.
That's silly talk there.
But again, my fascination with acid deaths, even though this wasn't acid, it was molten plastic, but still there was a body melt. There was a body melt scene in there that was utterly disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Chucky, actually. It wasn't a human, but
right.
Well, at that point Chucky was turning human inside the doll.
Right. Come to think of it, okay, so you have this thing with people being like melted or burnt. And then like one of the last scenes in your all-time favorite movie, Terminator 2, is him being lowered down into the molten
and the T-1000 getting melted by the
right.
Yeah.
Mm.
We need to worry about Vito, folks.
I'm getting a little worried.
We're gonna do a Netflix special documentary called, and the title of it'll be "We're all a little worried about Vito." Interesting. So I mean, like did you see Child's Play 1 first?
I don't think so. This was a movie that was probably on TV when I was younger, obviously, and I watched it. So I probably saw this one first and then went back and watched the original.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense then. That's why I asked, because it seems like it's often for us, it's the one you saw first. That's, just like I was saying with Evil Dead. I saw Evil Dead 1 first, so that one just takes precedence for me, even though most people would say Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because when this movie came out, or when I watched it, I was only a couple years older than Andy the kid was in the movie, so it kind of plays on your fears when you're a kid. If something comes to life that you can't stop, even though it's a doll, it's a killer doll. When you're 6 or 7, that's pretty fucking scary, man.
Imagine if you would have been 6 or 7 years old and you would have seen Ginger Dead Man.
Dude, that's true. Because I did like gingerbread cookies when I was a kid. Still do. But
yeah, that would have fucked you up.
And come to think of it, I have a fascination too with small puppets and creatures that come to life.
That's right.
Child's Play, Puppet
Masters,
Ginger Dead Man,
Yep.
demonic toys. There's a whole plethora right there. I saw Dolls when I was really young.
Yeah.
That left a lasting impression on me where that woman or that guy has his hands on the windowsill and the window comes down and smashes his hands. I had that fear as a kid. Now, that scene freaked me out as a kid. I would never put my hands by windows when I was younger.
One of my honorable mentions gave me the same fear.
All right.
I will get into that in a few minutes. Interesting. All right, we'll see that all. Oh, that's cool. That all makes sense to me then because...
And the Child's Play movies are like fun. Yeah, they're dumb. It's a kind of a dumb concept, but it's a fun horror series. It's not too obsessed with making stuff utterly gory and disgusting. There's not like a huge, amount of time spent on character development. Even though there is character development, it's just about having fun, but set in a horror film. That's why I love them all,
Right.
To date, it's still my favorite horror franchise where I can watch every movie in that series back to back and not skip one of them.
Wow.
Whereas other horror movies, I'll skip around, but not this one, man. Even Seed of Chucky I love, even though that one's like the worst of the bunch. The worst of the bunch. I put that in air quotations. It's still super fucking fun. Yeah.
So in a way, even though you're choosing Child's Play 2, you could almost say that just the Chucky series, the Child's Play series.
This is a hard one to do, man,
Yeah.
because I like them all, and it's hard to just pick one out of the series. But if I had to, it'd be Child's Play 2 for sure.
Okay. But technically, Child's Play series would be your number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got to meet Brad Dourif and a couple of the cast members from the original, which was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that picture. You'll have to put that
Dude.
up.
Yeah.
And I had a really big crush on Christina Leese, who played the girl in the second one. She played Kyle. So I had a huge crush on her when I was a kid.
So vaguely. It's been years since I've seen Child's Play 1 more frequently and more recently than 2. I'm sure I'd remember what you're talking about. Again, you'll have to put a picture up so I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another one of those that when I first saw it, I thought it was great, those first 2, and then I just, I haven't watched them again in years. I'd be willing to watch them again.
Cult of Chucky that just came out is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, probably the most gorgeous shot film in the whole series by far.
Interesting.
Don Mancini is constantly upping his game as far as a director goes and a writer. It's good shit, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody have anything else you want to say about old Chucky?
I think that's about it, man.
Sure is an ugly doll. Fuck you. All right. Well, Megan, if I recall, I think mine and your number one is the same, isn't it?
They are one and the same.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Number one.
The Exorcist.
The fucking Exorcist. Megan, why would you make this? Why is this number one for you?
It's just such an iconic movie that I couldn't not make it my number one. Like, who doesn't know The Exorcist? Who's not creeped out by possession?
Right.
And creepy shit happening to you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Now, let me ask you guys a question real quick. So, if you recall, do you like The Exorcist?
No.
Wow.
See, I saw it when I was a kid, I think, but not all the way through, and I just remember it being really boring. And I think I might have watched it actually later when I was like 17 or 18, and I just thought it was boring.
Oh, my God.
Maybe if I rewatched it now, I'd have a better appreciation for it. But I loved the fucking shit out of the TV show.
Oh, the TV show.
Really
when we binge watched it.
Yeah.
2 years ago or last year or something like that.
Oddly enough, folks.
Oh, yeah. Was that our Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we always get together. A bunch of us get together every Thanksgiving now to just hang out and eat and we made it kind of oddly enough like a tradition that we get together and we binge watch the Exorcist TV show. So like the one year we binge watched the first season, then last year we binge watched, although I still never finished it.
No,
I never
don't think
finished
so.
season 2. I watched the first one, but I never finished. Did you watch the rest of season 2?
I think I finished season 2.
Yeah. That was...
Yeah, I think so, because I think I remember what happens at the... Yeah, I think... Yeah.
Yeah, I know what happens, but I never actually finished watching it. I read it, and everything, because that's what I do. But... Yeah, the TV show is great. Well, what about any of the other Exorcist movies? 2 or 3?
I don't think I've seen them.
Oh, really?
Is the Omen? That's a different series,
Omen
right?
is a totally different series. Yeah, no.
All right.
Dude, you need to watch Exorcist 3. Make sure you watch Exorcist 3. It's slow-ish. I really don't... You don't know much about it, do you?
No.
Oh, man, I don't want to tell you shit about it.
Go on, cold turkey.
I did want to get the audiobook because you said the book was like fantastic.
Of The Exorcist?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's still on my wish list on Audible. I haven't yet got it yet. But.
Do it. Yeah, I mean, as absolutely wonderful, in a manner of speaking, that the movie The Exorcist is, the book, dude. The book is great. The book is cool because, like every book, it goes more into detail, even about like a lot of the supporting characters. But it makes a lot more sense out of certain things that you might watch the movie and be like, well, what the fuck was that about? Or why should I like the book is great.
I got you.
Book is, to me, the book is almost just within a hair as scary as the movie. The movie just has Linda Blair in it as Reagan McNeil.
I got to meet her a couple years ago or last year.
Yeah. She's great. I love Linda Blair. I think she's cute as hell and everything. I can't get that. So yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you, well, you already answered. You said you saw bits of it when you were younger. You saw, what about you? Do you remember how old you were when you saw it?
No, I was pretty young.
Yeah, I was really young. I remember exactly when I first saw it, and I didn't even see the unedited version. I saw a television edited version.
Yeah, I think that's how I saw it.
Yeah, probably most of us did. I saw it on Channel 9. They actually showed that, and then they showed Exorcist 2. So I saw that awful movie. Although, you know what? It's not that bad, actually.
You would like it, Vito.
Yeah.
It's a sequel.
Huh?
Well, it's not that. It's got its moments, It's not as bad as people make it out to be, but anyway, I saw it. My parents wanted to watch it, and I was like, "Oh, can I watch it?" And they were sort of like, "Yeah, okay." Like they sort of were like, I just remember there being a little bit of a reluctance. Now, my mother, like I mentioned earlier, read the novel while she was pregnant with me, and it scared the shit out of her. She was terrified of it. And I know my aunts and uncles, like Uncle Billy and them, went and saw it at the theater, and they said, and they were like teenagers or early 20s or something by that point, and they were scared shitless of this movie. So I was intrigued by it. And I watched it. It was on Channel 9. This would have been, I was probably like 7 or 8.
Wow.
So I might have been 8. It was probably around 1981, somewhere around there. And I watched it and immediately regretted it. But that being said, regretted it because it scared the shit out of me, but loved it too. Like, that is a purest case of being totally terrified by something, but then like loving it. Through my teenage years, I watched it. Oh God, I don't know how many. Me and my old buddy Steve and all of us, we would watch it when we were 13, 14 years old. That was like a regular sleepover movie. To the point where we were so numb to it, we used to make fun of it. When I still see Steve, we make fun of it. We have jokes, inside jokes about it. We made fun of it, made fun of some of the characters and the dialogue and shit. But at some point in my life, I don't know why, that movie turned around on me. Like, it turned on me. I know this sounds really goofy, folks. I get it. But at some point in my life, it turned on me, and it became embedded in my psyche in this really, really negative way. And I don't know why it is that movie in particular, but that movie, it seems like that is what manifests in my brain if I'm like stressed or scared. Like I have, since I was like a young adult, I have had nightmares about that somehow come around to being about The Exorcist. I've had them at least once or twice a month, every month, every year of my life for probably the last 25 years.
Wow.
Like nonstop. It just, I'm to the point where I'm like used to it. It still fucks with me, but I'm like, oh, go figure, I had an Exorcist dream. Mm-hmm. You know how some people say, oh, I saw The Day After, or one of those movies back when I was a kid, and ever since then, every now and then I'll have these like nuclear war dreams. Or people that saw T2.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people that have seen T2, and that whole scene with Linda Hamilton in the playground and stuff with the bomb going off it. Like that, I can't tell you how many people have told me, like, I still regularly have nightmares about that. Like about nuclear annihilation, and they affected them mentally. That is how I am with The Exorcist. So you would kind of then think like, oh, Larry hates The Exorcist. No, I don't. I think it's one of, not only is it, I think, the best horror movie of all time, best scary movie of all time, we'll say. I think it's one of the best movies of all time. The writing and the direction, what they did with the fucking practical effects, because it's all, I mean, this was 1973 this came out. The practical effects and everything, you watch it now and you don't like look at it and go, oh, that looks so fucking fake. You look at it and you're like, oh man, that's creepy. That vomit, there's the one scene when Father Merrin she's in the bed writhing around, and Father Merrin is performing the exorcism towards the end on her, and he's like pressing, the thumb or whatever on her, and she like turns her head. There's this fucks with me so bad because I'm thinking about it. Like, you don't understand. Her face fucks with me so badly. I can't. It's terrible at this time of year because everything, every news article online and every other fucking post on Facebook and social media, people are always posting some picture of her when she's full on like possessed and her head turned around, or just certain things when she's just staring at the camera. I feel about that the way people that feel about when they have phobias about clowns, or people that are like afraid of snakes or whatever. Like, I'm afraid of Linda Blair as Reagan possessed. Like, and it doesn't make any fucking sense, because I even get having a phobia about snakes and things like that. But I know this is all bullshit. It's all a fucking movie, but there's something psychologically in my head about it that it touches on some other thing. And I don't know. I'm not making a lot of sense, I guess. But this movie, I was saying, when she turns her head and she's just like nonstop vomiting, and it's just rolling out of her mouth. Like, it's still so grim. Like, you don't look at it and go, oh, that's pea soup. Like, it looks awful. Like,
Disgusting.
They just did such a good movie. And think about it, for its time, that movie was... See, this is the thing, Vito. Again, I know I always say these kind of things to you, like you had to be there or whatever, but you have to put it in perspective that movie, more than Night of the Living Dead, more than Halloween, more than any of these other movies, right? They're all great movies, fucking awesome movies. But Exorcist was socially jarring. It was socially jarring. Read stories about, there's books that have been written about it. That's how impactful it was. They say after that movie came out that people signing up for therapy with psychiatrists and stuff went through the roof.
Wow.
It psychologically fucked with people. there were like people. It was they always say they've talked to different people that were part of the Catholic Church and stuff back then. They've interviewed them for these things, and it's kind of funny where they've said like, "Oh, The Exorcist was great. Exorcist was great for us. Attendance in church and people like it went up after The Exorcist came out. They're like
fucking product placement by the Catholic Church right there, man.
Right.
I'm gonna put it past them.
Yeah.
It really shook people to its core because again, it's one of those things where it's just like people. it's just like anything else. It's like music. It's like anything where you can sit there and go, I don't see what the big deal was about Elvis Presley, or I don't see what the big deal was about the Beatles. I don't see what the big deal was about Star Wars and all these things. And it's like you have to think about at the time and try, if you can, to put yourself in a mind space where you go, all these other things I know that have come since then that I've become totally acclimated to and everything did not exist. You're talking about a time when cursing in movies wasn't like widespread. Like, oh my God, that movie had a bunch of time. They actually said fuck in this movie. That was the mindset back in the early 70s. It was, fucking Watergate hadn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? Like, we were still clinging on by our fingernails as a society, at least here in America, to innocence. We were still hanging on to some sort of innocence that we had in the 50s and part of the 60s. All this unrest happened, war happened, blah, blah, blah. We were still clinging, and then the fucking Exorcist came out. And it sounds like I'm being overdramatic, but I promise you I'm not. The Exorcist came out, and people were like, literally were like, whoa, what? People were like, did I just see a movie? Did I just really just go to see a movie with a 12-year-old girl jamming a crucifix into her crotch? And I mean, you don't see the actual naked crotch, but they show it. Like, they show her jamming it into her crotch and there's blood everywhere. We know she's a 12. Did I just see her doing that and shouting, "Let Jesus fuck you"? Like, even now there's people that are like offended or shocked by that. Imagine a fucking time in a society when everybody was shocked by that. Mm-hmm. Like, people were just like, what are you can't do this. It felt obscene, but it wasn't done in an obscene way. It was done in this almost like not that it's a documentary, but in this kind of like, no, we're just telling this very calm story. We're not putting like, campy music over it or like trying to play it up with dun, 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 dun. Like, it was just silence. And that's the other thing about this movie that I love is the use of silence. The whole dream sequence when the priest is having the nightmare after his mother died, and he's having that nightmare about her coming up the stairs from the subway. You're gonna have to watch it again, Vito, and it's all in the book too. Mm-hmm. But they show him laying there. He's laying there and he's sleeping, and they're showing him in his sleep, and he's having this dream. There is no audio through the sequence lasts, I don't know, 2 minutes maybe. There's no audio. They don't play any kind of creepy music. No, nothing. All you hear is his breathing, like while he's sleeping. You just hear him breathing, and you see his dead mother, coming up and on this busy New York street or wherever it's supposed to be in Maryland or whatever. And him waving at her, and she's standing there like crying, like screaming at him. It's so disturbing. Like, that alone, it has nothing to do with any kind of horror. It's so disturbing because you're just like, it makes you think like, oh man, I've had dreams like that, Mm-hmm. And then just for like an instant in the middle of that dream, they show that demon face. Boop. It just shows just for a second. And it's those kind of things where people are you're watching it for the first time and you're like, what did I just see? Like, did I see that?
Yeah.
Because they don't make any reference. There's no sound effect when it happens. You're just watching him. He's having this silent dream in his head with no audio. You just hear him kind of breathing. And, this exchange of him and his mother walking back down into the subway, which is kind of like a, euphemism, I guess, in his mind of like, maybe she was damned, going to hell, like what, she was leaving. And then, like I said, that's that demon face, boom, just literally for a second, you almost don't know if you blink.
If this was made in modern times, that would be the very end of the movie. And when that demon face came out, there'd be a loud bang. Right. And they would leave it there for 3 seconds, and then it would cut the credits, and that's how that movie would end if it was made today.
Right. Yeah, basically. But
that was like the ending of every horror movie in the past 3 years. It had to do with demonic possession.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And some of them are okay, but I mean, I'm just saying, anyway, I'm going to go on and on about this, but there's so many things in this movie that were so well done. And I think it's in part because it was not made at all with the same idea. They didn't go like, let's make a fucking horror movie. Like, let's make people vomit. Let's blah, 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 blah. It was like, no, let's make this serious movie about, that deals with things like faith, and not just Christian type faith or whatever, but just like faith in fellow man, because there's a lot to do with that. Faith in in yourself, holding it together. There's so many things. Dude, that movie scared the fucking living shit out of me. And like I said, it got in my head. And then we get to the late 90s. And I find out, this is again when I had my store. I'm in my mid-20s by this point. And I find out that they're re-releasing The Exorcist, the version you've never seen. And I'm like, oh, wow, cool. Like I want to see that. And, they're talking about, there's scenes in there that you've never seen before, like the spider walk. And I'm like, what's the fucking spider walk? I'm like, I don't even know what it is yet. I already know I'm not going to like it. The spider, I'm like, I know I'm not going to like this. I'm already building up things in my head of like, what is this going to be? And then I saw it and I'm like, oh, fuck you. Like, well,
is that actually like deleted scenes, or did they make that up for the re-release?
Well, okay, so here's the thing about the spider walk scene. So no, it was deleted scenes. They didn't make anything new for the re-release. They did doctor it. And let me say that what I thought. What they ended up doing to the spider walk scene in the final version of the movie, the end of it where they show her mouth and they did this animation where she had like blood, and I was like, oh, that's so not in keeping with the rest of the movie. Like it I was actually grateful. I was like, oh, good. I'm glad they kind of fucked it up a little bit because but I saw. So when that was coming out, they were coming out with that. There was like a documentary that was on Sci-Fi Channel or one of those channels, right? And it was a documentary all about the history of The Exorcist, and then they were talking to Friedkin and them about this new version that was coming out. And they showed like the old outtakes of it. So it hadn't been like fixed up yet. It was just like it was grainy, it was kind of, and they showed the outtake of the original scene of her when she suddenly comes down the stairs walking upside down and then flips over. And in the original, before they changed it or quote unquote fixed it, they gave her this really long lizard looking tongue.
Oh,
right? Dude.
Knock my head off.
Right. And she's doing this thing with the tongue where she's like,
okay.
And then she goes crawling after the nanny, their living nanny and everything. My hairs are standing on end right now.
I see them.
Just thinking about it. It was even worse than I'd imagined in my head. I was like, oh no, please, no. I was like, no, that's awful. That's just awful. So when I actually went and saw it at the theater with Nick.
That must have been an experience.
Well, my buddy Nick, because he was just like, fuck yeah, man, we're going to go fucking see. It's going to be amazing. He was all loud in the theater.
Of course.
Here's the thing. I don't think I even told Nick this. I went with Nick because he's like the toughest, baddest ass dude I know. So I felt safer. I was just like, I can't You know, like I just was like, I got Nick here with me. I'm good. You know, like I'm as stupid as that sounds. I was literally, what was I, like 25 when I went and saw this, you know? But I just felt like, and I knew like with laughing with him and stuff, and it was going to kind of keep me like, okay. Because I'd never seen Exorcist in the theater. Even though I'd seen...
Was it in Dolby Cinema?
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, could you imagine? You know what? I'll tell you guys this right now. If they ever re-release it again to the theater and they say they're going to do it at Dolby Cinema, if you guys will go, I'll go. I'll go.
I'll leave that up to you.
No, I would love to. It would be a cool experience. And I'll feel better about. See, it's not even going to see it at the time that's the problem. It's later.
Mm.
It's after. It's when I go to bed at 4 a.m. then that night, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, as soon as I close my eyes, I'm gonna have these fucking dreams, and it invades. Like I'll be having like a totally normal, weird, typical, nonsensical dream, and then all of a sudden it'll take this turn, and then she's there, and like this thing happens, and it's like awful. But that spider walk scene, yeah. For any of you, if you're like, oh, I've seen the spider walk scene, if you get a chance, because I'm sure it's on YouTube, or I think it's in the bonus features, because I think when they put the re-release out, the version you've never seen version, director's cut, when they put that on video, I think that documentary is on the DVD. So that scene is in there. That's what you should watch, Vito. You should watch the documentary about it. It's really interesting. I think once you got that, I mean, you might not be blown away still by this movie, but I think it might give you more of like a newer respect, especially if you read the book or listen to the book.
Yeah.
Audiobooks. Yeah, it's great for it. But yeah, man, I mean, if you haven't seen that spider walk scene in the original raw form, when she just had the tongue, yeah. If you have, because a lot of people I know felt like, oh, when I've seen people online, oh, that spider walk scene was dumb. I'm like, watch the original. To me, it's way more, it messes with your head more, because it looks more real, I guess you could say. It's so obvious CG what they did in the remake. It's like, wow, come on. It doesn't fit in the rest of the movie. But anyway, I could do a whole show just talking about this movie, and I'm not going to. That's why it has to be my number one, because not only is it the movie that has negatively impacted me emotionally and mentally and stuff the most, but I also extremely admire and in a weird way love this movie, because I think it is such a piece of cinematic art. I think the original Blatty's original story is brilliant, and it's all supposed to be semi-based on a true story that people from the church and stuff that before they died and everything, that were, you know, sworn to secrecy, could never talk about it. And these were like priests. Now, we can all have our different opinions about priests these days. I get it. But we can all pretty much agree that most of the time these guys are not, they ain't, as we know, the problem is they ain't the most forthcoming people with secrets and shit. And some of the people that were involved back then in the church when the original possession happened, and it was a young boy, it was like a 12-year-old boy, back in the early 50s, have come forward and said, now later, years later, when like on their deathbed kind of thing, said, yeah, it was real. Yeah, it happened. It happened. Stuff happened. Like, we still to this day can't, there's no way to explain it. Like, there's things that happen, and it's like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that creeps me out the most, is the stuff that can actually happen. It's like the monsters and stuff like that. They're good fun to watch or whatever, but the ones that really creep me out.
Well, that's why I don't like serial killer stuff, because serial killers really exist. I don't think serial killers, I'm just putting this out there, and a bunch of you are going to fucking disagree with me. I don't think serial killers are fucking cool. I don't think it's badass. I don't think it's like so awesome, bro. Oh, I fucking love it. And bands that sing about serial killers, some of them are my friends. Not serial killers, the bands. Some of them are my friends. They want to sing about that. Be my fucking guest. But I don't find any of that stuff cool or like worth. You know, the thing is I know what you're saying about it could really happen. I don't know, man. I don't believe in Satan. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in any of that crap. But I do believe in, like, I don't know. The unknown, I guess. There's dark forces. It sounds so corny to say it like that. Dark forces, dark thing. There is definitely unknown things to us that we don't understand that could possibly manifest themselves in different ways. I don't know. There's a lot of unexplained things that have happened out there. It's just like, now we're kind of getting into more sci-fi kind of things. We'll save all of this for when we do other talks we've talked about doing. But yeah, this movie, like I said, it's just weird that it doesn't, like, I know it's a movie, it's bullshit. It's, you know what I mean? But there's just somewhere, for some reason, this is the one thing that wrapped itself around some part of my brain and manifests all my fears and neuroses and stress and all that. It manifests itself through this. So it sucks because I love this movie. I mean, I've seen it so many times. I can quote it word for word, all the voices, can you help an old altar boy out? Father, I'm a Catholic. I know every bit of dialogue from this movie. Love it. I've read the book, blah, 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 blah. But I have a really hard time watching it anymore because I'm like, I know what's going to happen if I watch it. It's just going to trigger all those things in me, and it sucks. So at least I'm not afraid of clowns, so I can watch it all the time. But anyway, there you have it, folks. That's mine and Megan's number one. Sorry, it was kind of long-winded. This was good. I was trying to keep everything fairly short, but when it came to this one, like I said, I could do my own show just talking about The Exorcist. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I will. But you, Vito, I really want you to watch Exorcist 3.
Okay.
I'm serious.
All
like,
right.
I really want
Do
you
I have to watch the first two?
No.
No, just jump right into 3.
Okay.
There are references to it does matter. It is a sequel in ways. There are references, but I think you will know enough.
Because I knew enough when we watched the show because they made references back.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I kind of know what that is.
Yeah, I think you will know generally enough. It's weird because Exorcist 3 is almost more like a psychological crime drama.
Okay.
In a way.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I
It's a
want to check out
total
3.
George C. Scott plays investigator in it and everything, but the only returning character from the original movie is the young priest, Father Jason or whatever. He is back in a way, but you know enough about the end. Spoilers. You know enough about the end of The Exorcist that he dies, right? Because he chokes her, and that's when he's saying, "Come into me, God damn you, take me." And then the demon goes into the priest, and then he throws himself out the window, breaks his neck or whatever. Supposedly, he dies at the end of those stairs. Oh, those fucking stairs, man. Anyway, even just those stairs creep me out. And then it's supposed to be that she's okay and all that kind of stuff. Well, in Exorcist 3, he's back.
With a vengeance?
Well, but you don't understand how and why. Like, how? Is this who I think it is? Why is he back? But you got to watch it. It's really good. And the hospital hallway scene. That's all I'm going to tell you. The fucking hospital hallway scene. It's just this real short little thing, but it's so cool, man. And we're so spoofing it. We're so going to spoof. We are so going to spoof. I would love, real quick, last thing, and then we're done. Because there's those 3 movies. There's the TV series, and then there were the other what was it called? Like Exorcist, the Dominion or whatever. There was the movie where they tried filming it once, and then they filmed like 95% of the movie, and then they were like, no, this isn't good enough. We have to go and start from scratch again. And it was kind of like Superman 2.
Okay.
You know how there's 2 different versions of Superman 2?
Yeah.
They did that with this early 2000s Exorcist sequel.
Okay.
There's 2 different versions of the movie, but some ways it's the same movie, but then it's not. They're cool. The one is better than the other, but don't ask me right now which one it is because it's been so long. But you might like those because they're more modern.
Yeah.
They're more... There's some cool, creepy shit. Fucking chick gets possessed in that one. She's chasing this dude through this fucking dirt, like little tunnel thing in the desert, and looks no good. Tomatoes, the tomatoes are no good. Those tomatoes are no good. They're rotten. They're no good. I can't do nothing with these tomatoes. They're no good. Anyway. So yeah, I would love if we all watched all those movies, and let's maybe next year, when we're looking for content around this time or something like that, let's do a fucking Exorcist episode. And just talk about all those.
Okay.
And you guys got to watch all of them.
All right.
Even Exorcist 2 is worth watching just for a laugh, because it's so of its time. It was like 1978 and did not have the budget or the writing or anything that Exorcist 2 did, and yeah, but it has a couple moments in it that's pretty cool. So anyway, all right, that was our top 5. Winding down here, we could just talk about our honorable mentions.
Yep.
I'm sure you have like 500 of them.
I've got 3. I had to put 3 in there, but I'll just gloss over them real quick.
That's cool. Yeah, I've got 3 as well. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Right, cool. All right. So I have to put in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 because...
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, Dream Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, Freddy's one of my most iconic horror villains, whatever you want to call him. And this movie is just, I love the chemistry of all the friends coming together. Getting the band together to fight Freddy in the dream world with all their superpowers is such a cool concept.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's my favorite of Nightmare on Elm Street. 2 is real good, too.
Yeah, I like 2 a lot.
Yeah.
And Freddy's dead. And Freddy's versus Jason, but I digress.
I think I only saw some of Freddy versus Jason. I liked what I saw.
Yeah, we saw it in the theater, man.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So jazzed for that movie.
Yeah, maybe that might be one we have to watch in that thing next Halloween. Anyway, what else is there?
And then I'm going to go with a super classic movie called House on Haunted Hill from 1959, starring Vincent Price.
Yep.
I rented this from the library when I was a kid, and I fucking loved it, man. I still remember there's another acid death scene at the end of the movie where he throws his wife in the acid pit, and she comes out as a skeleton. Yeah. In fact, I'm getting confused. This might be the first movie I saw with an acid death. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's too bad there's a band already called Acid Death.
That's true.
I'd say you need to start a fucking band called Acid Death.
Then we really have to worry about Vito.
Yeah.
Or you could just call it Death by Acid.
There you go.
That's probably taken too.
Yeah, but another cool concept. You have to stay in a haunted house overnight, and you're awarded, I feel like $1 million or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, they remade it.
Yeah, I like the remake, actually. The remake was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. And then the third one is a newer movie called As Above, So Below from 2014.
Right.
This is a found footage film, and I describe it as Indiana Jones meets Dante's Inferno and the Nine Circles of Hell. And it's fucking brilliant film, man.
Yeah.
There's this claustrophobia. I have a slight case of claustrophobia, and there's a scene in this movie where they have to dig their way through this. They're in the catacombs of Paris, and they have to go through this small space through bones, and the guy gets stuck in there, and it freaks me out so bad.
Yeah. I didn't see it yet, but I did watch the trailers, and I read all about it and everything, so I know everything about it. It's cool.
Very cool film. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my 3. So.
That's another one. See, I got so much out of this. I don't know if you folks are going to get anything out of this, but I ended up getting so many new movies that I'm like, oh, I want to see that. Oh, I want to see that. So worked for me. So
will work for you too.
If you let it. Everything works if you let it. So, Megan, honorable mentions?
I have one honorable mention. I think I'm going to go with The Sixth Sense.
You are good. Okay.
I'm going to go with that.
That's a good one.
That's a real good movie.
I really like the twist at the end of that one.
What a twist.
Yeah. I didn't see that one coming.
Well, it was the start of it, but no, that's a genuinely creepy movie. Mm-hmm. It's another one that I remember when I first saw it, I thought it was great because of, again, the use of silence. Mm-hmm. What isn't said is great. Yeah.
What's in the void kind of fucks with you.
Yeah.
And again, listen to the fucking kid.
Yeah. Always listen
Always
to
listen
the kid.
to the kids. It's my life lessons. Listen, people.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Yeah, like you said, it's amazing what you end up ignoring when you're an adult and you're so staunch in your beliefs and disbeliefs and preoccupied with what's going on in the real world, and you don't realize what all you're missing.
Right.
You know, well, they proved that with the whole plot of the movie, because as adults we watched it and we were thinking about this, and we're thinking, oh, you know, she's cheating on him with this, Bruce Willis with this guy. Like, we're all stuck in our preconceived shit, and then we get to the ending and then realize, like, oh my God, we were watching everything wrong.
Yeah, now I have to rewatch it again just so I can catch what actually happened.
Yeah.
And people can say what they want about M. Night. I know a lot of people bag on him now, and not everything he's done has been great. But man, I give that guy a lot of props, man. He really made that whole style his own. And with some of those movies like that and Unbreakable and a few others, like, he did a great job. That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I like
would.
that one.
I'm gonna kind of tag myself onto your honorable mention. Like that. That's a good honorable mention.
Yeah, you're gonna share that one with
I'll
me?
share that. We're gonna share that one.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Is that the only one?
That's my only one.
Okay. All right. Real quick, I'll get through mine. I have 3 as well. I could have way more. Like I said, I didn't even get into any of like the classic stuff like House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
All like there's so many Hammer horror stuff. I just left all that off because that would have to be its own thing. So kind of still keeping it with 70s to now stuff that I saw that impacted me. Poltergeist, 1982, 81, 82. Great movie. You know, it didn't really scare me. I know a lot of people who were really scared of that movie, you know, especially if they were younger. By the time I saw it at the theater, and I was 9 or 10, and by that point I'd already seen The Exorcist. I'd already seen
So nothing's going to scare you at that point.
Yeah. I mean, by that point I'd seen The Exorcist, and right around that time I saw The Thing, you know. So those were like the kind of movies that were, you know, fucking with me. Poltergeist just felt so Spielberg-y.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that I was like, okay, I could deal with it. I got that it was kind of creepy. There was a few things that were creepy. But I really and just generally enjoy that film. That's that, and I threw that in an honorable mention because that's another movie that almost every year I like to watch at this time of year. You know, I like to watch it. It's kind of like I guess a fun, you know, scary movie. You know, it doesn't really scare me, but it's like, it's just fun. You know, I like the way the spirits start fucking with the team of parapsychologists and stuff. That dumb douchebag that's tearing his face off in the mirror, and that steak that's crawling across the counter with all the maggots and stuff. And like I love that. Like, that just makes me laugh. Like, I love that stuff. Craig T. Nelson's great in it. Like, I just love his attitude about stuff, and just, yeah, it's cast really well. Everything. I think it's a fun movie. My second would be, and again, this is kind of like you with Child's Play, where I'm going to pick a movie, but it's really the whole series, is Insidious.
Yeah.
I dig Insidious. Insidious is one of the first horror movies and then series that I felt for the first time in a long time. I was like, oh, I'm drawn into this. You know, like, it did actually kind of creep me out. And
there's some parallels to Poltergeist, kind of.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's
kind of almost the same idea-ish.
Yeah, in there, and kind of, you know, yeah. Possession, backstory, you know, having like a backstory in the family, kind of haunting kind of thing. Yeah. I'm big on possession stuff, obviously, you know, like a lot of my things have to do with possession kind of things. So I those are what kind of interest me. Insidious, I just think was really well done. I like the whole series. That's like, for modern horror stuff, more recent horror stuff, that's like my go-to series. Like, if I wanted to watch something modern and, you know, like binge watch like a modern horror series, that's it. I don't have much else to say about that, though, really, other than, you know, it's good. Then my last one, this is the one that it was a toss-up between this and Night of the Living Dead. I put Night of the Living Dead in there, but this movie could have been a tie, really. in terms of impacting me as a kid, because I saw them around the same time, is 1979's The Amityville Horror. The reason this I think gets left out is because in watching this more in recent years, I don't know, it doesn't age as well. You know, like I still watch Night of the Living Dead, and even though it was done so cheaply and black and white and everything, like to me, it's still as great as when I first saw it, if not better. Amityville Horror, I just watched it not that long ago, and I was just like, yeah, this is kind of a product of its time. It's not, some of the acting and things are not as great, but it's got stuff that fucked with me, for one thing. And it's another whole nother conversation we don't have time for, but I have a thing about statues.
Oh, yeah.
There's people that know me know the whole story about the statue cat that I grew up with in my house, this weird statue cat that's a whole other episode, because it's a long story, and some of it I can't explain. And I've got friends who I know listen to, hi Dave, that I know listen to and watch this show that are going to back me up on the statue cat story, because they saw weird shit too when we were younger. But I have always had a thing about statues, animal statues, weird things. And oddly enough, even though it wasn't like a big part of the Amityville story, there was that thing where they find that statue somebody sent, they don't know where it came from, which is same as the fucking statue cat. Nobody knows where the statue cat came from in my house. My mom, my parents, they're like, we don't even remember where that came from. I'm like, what? But that they had that weird like dragon demon statue thing and stuff, you know, and then at one point when he's what's his name is walking through this living room when he's losing it, and then he gets bit. They don't show it bite him, but it like falls, and then he realizes he's got a bite mark, and it's obviously from that fucking statue. I'm like, fuck that thing. Fuck that fucking statue. I don't like statues, man. Statues mess with me. But that the windowsill, the kids when they were playing the trick, they were like messing with their younger sister out the window. I think they had like a fake spider on a string, and then Margot Kidder comes in to yell at them for doing that, and they turn, and as they turn, that fucking windowsill, that window comes down, it smashes their hands, and she can't get it out, and they're screaming, and it's getting bloody. And yeah, man, I was like, I still think about that with windowsills. Automatically I think about fucking Amityville. Mino Peluche getting his fucking fingers smashed in there, and with his little fucking afro, and it's at basements, you know. The whole thing with being down in the basement and then find out that behind that one wall, it's like the portal to hell and all that kind of shit. Like it's all, I grew up in a house. My mom's going to roll her eyes and say, no, you didn't. Yeah. Well, my dad backs me up on this. Friends back me up on this. Okay. I grew up in a house where there was some weird shit that went on, you know, like just nothing malevolent, but just some weird things that go on. And, those stairs and coming up from the basement. I've had, I don't know how many people tell me walking up those stairs, like, yeah, I get a weird feeling going up those stairs. I don't even know why, you know, people that I haven't even told the story to, any stories to, that are just like, yeah, your basement, there's something weird about it. You've been down there a million times, Vito.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever got like a weird vibe though.
Yeah, but I don't know if you would have ever been in a situation where, you know, you were never down there at night. You were never going up and down those stairs like alone.
Yeah, I guess not.
You know, it was always like all just tromping through there. And I don't know if you would have had the consciousness to think about it. But anyway, you know, so I'm very sensitive to that kind of shit, you know, because there's some weird things with me with basements and stairs and statues, and I don't know.
You're going to need somebody else to watch your cats when you leave town now. Just saying.
Sorry.
I don't know if I feel safe being alone in your house anymore.
You're fine upstairs. Just don't go downstairs.
Well, that's where the cat's litter boxes are. I have to.
Well, you don't have to go all the way down the stairs. You just go halfway down. So you'll be okay. Willie's down there anyway. Scariest thing you're gonna run into in my basement is Willie G fucking crabbing at you about shit. I don't know what the fuck these cats want. be on me all the time. I feed them. They're never fucking. Then they throw up all over the place. Blah blah blah. I got fucking management calling me up, bitching to me about the B rig for the next European tour. I don't know what the fuck. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's the biggest scary monster you got to deal with in my house right now is fucking Willie G. So I think you can handle him.
Okay.
You could take him. But anyway, that's it. I mean, I think that covers it. If we want to real quick get into thanks but no thanks, I don't really have much to say about that because I've already told you everybody it would my thanks but no thanks when it comes to scary and horror is anything that's like overly brutal, and especially like the modern stuff like Saw, Hostel, these kind of like pseudo serial killer, like let's show you all the different ways that innocent people can be like brutally tortured and murdered just for the hell of it kind of thing. It's like I have absolutely no use for those kind of movies. Movies like Cube and all that kind of stuff, there's a brilliant twist to that. It's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're brutal, but just the concept behind it. It's not just some like douchebag that like, oh, he's this crazy serial killer guy. Fuck you. Have to deal with enough of those pieces of shit in real life. I don't need to watch movies about it. What about you? Do you got a thanks but no thanks?
Unfriended from 2014.
Unfriended. I don't know that one.
We watched this movie last year, I think. Okay, basically, it's a I guess it's sort of found footagey. So a group of friends, they all get together and they have a group chat on Skype. And that's the whole movie is literally a laptop screen with 6 people talking on Skype chat. And that's how the movie takes place.
Well, Skype can be pretty scary to deal with.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you come to find out that this girl in their class committed suicide, and there's a video of her at a party where she gets drunk and some bad shit happens to her. And one of her friends uploads that video to YouTube, and it goes viral. So she ended up committing suicide.
Oh, jeez.
And then her ghost possesses Skype chat and goes on as a different user, and now people can't get off Skype, and they die on Skype because they get possessed by this ghost to put their hand in a blender or drink bleach or do this other shit. But when the death comes, they literally freeze the frame like that while noise is going on. And you're like, what's going on? And all you just hear is voices and people screaming. It's fucking retarded. Fucking dumb. Do not watch this movie. No.
Yeah, that does not at all sound like a movie I want to see.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
For a myriad of reasons. All right. Well, fair enough, man. All right. I agree with that one. What about you, Meg?
My thanks but no thanks is Shut In from 2016.
Oh, okay.
Went and saw it at the theater. The trailer looked amazing. I was like, oh, this is going to be really scary and stuff. A group of us went and saw it. Crap. I didn't like the twist at the end. The twist was stupid. It had great actors. It had great opportunity. It had Naomi Watts.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mom. Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
Who plays, I think, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Was the teenage son.
Yep.
It had Jacob Tremblay, who we just saw in The Predator.
Right.
So, I mean, it had great opportunity. It was just dumb. It wasn't anything like the trailer made it to be. The trailer had all the best shit in it.
Trailers, yeah, man. Either they spoil the entire movie for you, or they're just so misleading that you're like, I actually spent money because of this trailer, and I'm so underwhelmed and disappointed from it.
Yeah, all the best stuff was in the trailer.
Yeah,
I didn't have to spend any money on this movie. It wasn't scary at all to me.
That's a bummer.
And the twist was like, really? Really?
That was the payoff, huh?
All right, whatever. That wasn't scary at all. That was dumb. And everybody I went and saw it with thought the same thing. So do not waste your money on Shut In or buying it or anything.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well noted.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, man. I guess that's it. I mean, thanks again to everybody who submitted their lists online and stuff. That was awesome. Obviously, some of our choices were on some of those lists, but it just goes to show it's such a wide-reaching genre. Horror movies were some of the first movies ever made. It's just interesting the way the human mind works in that regard. We didn't, and when you think of classic movies, even going back to the 1910s, 1920s and stuff, so many of the ones that are still remembered and regarded so highly are scary horror movies.
Yeah.
Nosferatu, The Golem, all these, the Long Lost London After Midnight, all that kind of shit. I mean, like, the Phantom of the Opera, all these things, there's just something about us that we can evolve, but man, we're just dark and disturbed fucking creatures. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that we'll be talking way more about this kind of stuff in the future. I'd love to, like I said, focus more on actual series, do an episode just talking about Exorcist, do an episode just talking about, like, maybe Nightmare on Elm Street, do, things like that. Like,
it's so hard to jam all these into one podcast where we have so many to talk about. It's
easily.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would be a long podcast just talking about Friday the 13th series.
Yeah, you got
Halloween,
8 movies or whatever, and same with Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween, and then when you get into all the remakes and the the retellings, all this stuff, there's tons that we didn't even touch on this, folks, and we know, and so I'm sure you'll hear more. We want to hear more from you. What did you think of our top 5s? What did you think of our honorable mentions? What did you think about the movies we said are fucking garbage? Do you agree? Do you disagree? We want feedback. We're always begging you guys for feedback, but please give us feedback. Don't think it's too stupid or too trivial or too whatever. Like, we want to hear all of it because, we already had somebody that I guess called us out, thinks we're crazy because we all love The Predator.
Yeah, I saw that.
I fucking stand by it, man.
It was awesome.
Stand by it. It was a lot of fun, People that are like, oh, it's garbage compared to the other ones. Did you watch the other Predator movies? What are you looking for? Okay. Anyway, but yeah, man, on that note, we want to wish you all a very happy, spooky, safe, hopefully, Halloween.
Check those apples.
Yeah, look for the
razors.
Make sure you check your
needles.
If you're going out by yourself trick-or-treating, or you're taking your kids trick-or-treating, and there's that one creepy fucking house there, in the corner, like, just don't go there. Just move along.
Run by it.
I mean, really, what kind of candy are you going to get there? You think they're giving out
root beer barrels?
Yeah.
You don't know. They can be handing out full-size Snickers.
Penny whistles and moon pies.
I like me some moon pies, though, man. I don't know. I might go up to that creepy house.
See, Vito, that's how you get lured in by the
Penny whistles and moon pies, bro. They know it.
Yeah, that's how you get lured in by the fucking winds up that it's Pennywise living there, ready to fucking do some serious damage to you.
Upgraded from the sewer.
But anyway, so everybody, take it easy. We'll be back soon with stuff probably talking about Thanksgiving related shit, because we got all the holidays coming up, folks.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing that kind of stuff. But I like this old school guy here. So he's going to say, take it easy, folks. Or as the Kurgan would say, happy Halloween, ladies.
Don't ever do that again.
Blame the Kurgan. There could be only one. So, all right. Good night, folks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for checking out the podcast.
Let us know what you think in the comments, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Please click on the links in the description to follow us, and make sure you hit that subscribe button below.
And if you want to help us out, please check out our Patreon page as well.
We'll be back with more soon.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Holy shit, did we do it?
Yeah, we did it.